Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple and I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, the super trucker.
Future
Super trucker.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
Hey now.
So we got a new truck.
We did. And a new payment.
Yes. So, hold on a minute, it's going to take a minute. There we go. Just wanted to move the microphone off the mouse pad. So anyway, we started doing some extra maintenance.
Yes.
On our current truck. And
we have what, 250,000 miles?
We're 242,000 miles today. And aside from oil changes, air filters, fuel filters, normal wear and tear, we started getting into wheel bearings, ball joints,
U-joints.
U-joints on the front because it was easier to change the U-joints on the front. So we decided that before it gets into extreme repairs like transmission or engine or...
Well, we already have the manifold gasket.
Well, an exhaust manifold gasket, but I did research that. That is very common. The exhaust brake blows out the rear manifold gasket. So we do have that. We're able to drive the truck fine, but when you hit the exhaust brake, it makes a squealy sound like your brakes are squealing. And I was told by many people they drove their truck for 20,000, 30,000 miles. They just didn't use the exhaust brake, and they finally changed it, and nothing was wrong. So we do have to do 2 sets of tires a year.
Yep.
Because they're all terrain. I know some people are like, what? But we choose in the 20-inch, so they're not a 17-inch wheel. They're 20-inch wheels. They're all terrain. It looks beefy. We love our truck. I'll put a picture up here of our current truck. And we were going all over the country. And our only criteria, besides it being a Ram with the Cummins motor, we wanted a long bed. We wanted a dually.
Yep.
And it had to have the Aisin transmission.
Yes, it did. Very important.
Very important. Because the 68 RFE transmission, we hear about 100,000 miles, they start having problems.
Right. And everybody is like, oh, why didn't you get the Laramie or the Bighorn? It was me specifically that wanted the tradesman, because of the fact is if we have an emergency and we have to pull over, we have to sleep, I can lift up the thing and I can sleep across the front seat.
Right. And as we talk, we're going to go ahead and it's a 2.5 minute walk around of when we got the truck. They had already started putting the puck system in when we started recording, so we didn't get it truly before the work was done. And then we do a walk around after it was all done, including all the work that we had done at Dan's Hitch.
Yes.
So with that, Bunny wanted the tradesman so we could have the bench front seat, and we took out the sleeper berth out of our old truck because we wanted our windows to go up and down and we wanted the speakers. The new truck, we decided that we're going to go ahead and put the sleeper berth back in. We were kind of undecided for a long time if we were going to put it back in or not because we're not team driving. Right.
We actually like to be together, so we don't want one of us to drive at night, one to drive during the day. So we want to be together most all of the time. So we weren't going to put it back in, but then we had an incident on the freeway where we were shut down for hours on end and had to sleep in the back of the truck. And so for pure
one of us slept
comfort,
in the back of the truck. She wanted the tradesman, so it had the bench seat so she could sleep on the bench seat. Guess who got the back seat?
Yeah, because we haven't made a bed back there yet.
We hadn't. So, but no, we were stuck in a rest area for about 5 hours because there was a fatality on the 40. And we were one of the lucky ones to get in that rest area. And we were going to stay the night in there. And when they opened the freeway, we darted back on the freeway to go slow and go. And we finally made it to Flagstaff. There's a pilot there. We just jumped off and just slept in the truck and spent our 10 hours in Flagstaff in 24-degree temperature.
It's not our style.
Preferably would have had a hotel. Bunny called all the hotels all the way up to Kingman, sold out. because of that accident.
Yeah. So when people were getting through, they just had to pull over for the night.
So with that said, we give you an idea of what we did to the truck. As far as Bunny driving the old truck, that is an option. We don't want to do it during the winter months because it's just, there's not any reason to risk 2 trucks on ice or in the snow or just in an accident. So we want to make sure we always have at least 1 truck no matter what. So Bunny will continue to do the motorhomes. We've been going back and forth on this. What is the best value? Running 2 trucks. Yes, there is more money in TowAway. But when you're doing TowAway and drive-away, the money actually is very, very negligible. Considering there will be less maintenance on the other truck, less tires, less wear and tear, just less overall. The insurance is the same. We do have commercial insurance on it.
Right.
We do have unladen insurance on it.
And we're keeping that on that just in case one of the trucks needs to go into the shop. We're going to constantly be rolling.
Right. Now, not only that, because we're limited to 26,000 pounds, our new dually, we can only haul up to 12,000 pounds. That limits me on a lot of trailers. Where the other truck, we can do like 14,700 pounds or 14,300 pounds. I don't know the math. You can do the math if you want. The GVWR on the other truck is 11,700. So take away 26,000 off the top of my head. I'm not going to do it right at this second. That's the max I could pull on the other truck. There are a lot of fifth wheels that are over 12,000 pounds. So even though I have a fifth wheel hitch in the new truck, I am limited to a very small number of fifth wheels.
Correct.
Not saying I can't pull them.
No. But you can only pull the baby fifth wheels.
Right. But the options now are, no matter what, I can dispatch and I can jump in either or truck because they're both identically set up. Everything you see on the new dually, we have on the other truck, except for some minor changes.
Right.
The dually being an 8-foot bed, we're able to get a 95-gallon tank with the toolbox. We will be going over to Dan's hitch after this, and we're going to explain the differences of why we chose our toolbox over one of the other toolboxes.
Right. The other difference is the 2017 has a short bed, therefore we have a Demco sliding hitch in it.
Correct.
And in the 8-foot bed, we were able to go with the B&W.
Now the difference between the Demco sliding hitch, it has rails. And the rails are what makes the hitch slide back and forward. When you hook in each trailer, not each trailer, but there are about 5 different kingpin boxes. And I do have a couple of adapters for a couple of them because really the majority ones I pull are, there's 3 types that I normally pull and I'm set up for all 3 of those. I haven't gone out of the box on any of those, but you do have to adjust them, the rails per kingpin box.
Yes.
So that does take a little bit. As a matter of fact, I got a wrench over here, but I got a short one now. We do have a 60-gallon tank in the short bed, and there's no toolbox on the fuel tank because it's a short bed. We're limited on space.
Right.
We did choose to go with the rectangle flat top box on the rear of the bed. Main reason, and when we go over to Dan's hitch to do a video on the fuel tanks of why we chose our tank over the other ones, we're also going to do another quick video of why we chose our toolbox at the rear of the bed versus the cool looking V ones or something like that. But just to tell you right off, it's because we don't have to open the tailgate all the way down to access the toolbox. We could just open the tailgate a little bit just to get to the handles and lift a bed, and then we can close the tailgate, and then we can get in the toolbox and then close it back down.
Right, and of course, like everything else, is all in personal preference.
Yes.
And I can't pack lightly.
Right. And what works for us may not work for you, or what we like, you may not like. We think those other ones are really cool. But until we got our Gen Y hitch, which you'll see in our little video, we couldn't open our tailgates because it was hitting the jack. Mm-hmm. And even when we got our Gen Y, it was a 50-50 if we could open the tailgate, or we were just a 1/4 inch where we couldn't open it, and we didn't want to break the buttons on the jack.
Right.
But when we went to Gen Y with the weight distribution hitch, that added the 4 inches. Now we've never had a problem opening or closing our tailgate with a bumper pull trailer. So with that, the V toolboxes are fine because you have to open the tailgate all the way in order to access the doors.
Yep.
Okay.
No, they are cool looking.
They are cool.
And I had already had designs on what I could put in each box.
Right. We did immediately add a puck system. It didn't come with the puck system. We did not add the kingpin because we figured the puck system, we can add a kingpin to the puck system later on. We did rhino line the whole bed. We rhino lined the fuel tank toolbox combo, and we rhino lined the rear toolbox. Some people have said they don't understand why we put this much money into a work truck. That is because we don't view it as a work truck. Yes, that truck is making us a ton of money, but it is also an extension of our personalities.
Right. And it's what we like.
It's what we like.
We like to add flow, make everything flow, make it look. We just have a unique look that we like to our trucks.
Yes, and they're both identical. Now, we weren't going to buy the BMW companion hitch right away because we knew we were limited on 12,000 pounds. We knew that the chances of pulling a fifth wheel were very slim. When we had all the work done, and you'll see in there we had dual fire extinguishers, so instead of one flopping around on the fender well, we actually added them to the toolbox on each side. So it's an extra $25 for the second one, and it does kind of look cool. We did add a roll-up cover. That adds a sense of protection because what someone can't see makes it less of an opportunity, if that makes sense. Yes, they can cut the cover open. They can cut the locks. They can do whatever they want to do. But if I can make our vehicle more invisible than, say, your vehicle, no, I don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone. But if I can make my vehicle more invisible to a thief than the vehicle next to me, I would rather the thief move on. I mean, if there's going to be a thief anyways.
Right.
I'd rather move to a different target than my vehicle. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's the fact of life.
And it's sad because it doesn't matter where you're at. You could be in Beverly Hills.
Right.
If they're going to get something, they're going to get it, whether you're in the truck or not.
And if they want it, they will get it, no matter how secure you make it. So we just try to do our best. We lock up our fifth wheel hitch. We put 6 locks on it. I just happened to have a bunch of locks, and I locked it all up. And I put a thing on Facebook, and I said, "Did I overkill it with?" And I didn't get really too much any positive because people don't like drama. But I immediately got they could be cut off. They're crappy locks. This 1 or 6. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that I just locked it up. I know it could get stolen. It's common sense. But the fact is, you should keep your stuff locked up. We also have a lock for our battery, and I'll post a picture of that here because we were hearing a rash of batteries. They were cutting the cables and the strap and just taking the whole battery. Now the driver had to pay for the cable ends and a new battery and everything.
You know, years ago I used to work for construction companies. And do you know how many times tools get stolen out of the back of trucks?
Right.
Even in their own backyards.
Yep.
So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. We just want to deter them a little bit.
Yep. So we did add the roll-up cover. That just makes everything invisible in there. And on the hitch, again, I wasn't going to buy the hitch, but Dan's hitch put the hitch in just so I would see the completed scenario, and I liked it so much I just take the money, take it. It was a no-brainer. I was going to buy it in a couple months anyways, so I just told him to take it. We did add an airlift suspension. Both trucks have a wireless airlift suspension. We always would recommend air suspensions. It just makes for a smoother ride, safer ride. And we already had the triangles.
Yes, we did have the triangles.
Yep. And we did add a second Gen Y torsion Bosch hitch. Those things are heavier as shit. So I don't want to have to move one from one truck to the other. So we went ahead, even though I'm driving only one truck at a time, we have both. And we have the weight distribution hitch adapter. The only thing I haven't bought yet to finish it off is the weight distribution hitch itself, which we are going to buy a Husky because it's just easy with the chains popping up.
Right. And also, too, it's even set up with its own tools. I mean, everything, they're set up, like you said, 100% identical. It even has its own torque wrench. That way, if something happens, we can just come home, jump in the other truck, and go, and we're back on the road.
Right, because what had happened was when we first was going to do our first maiden voyage, it's our picture, we had to move everything from the black truck to the gray truck, and that took about an hour. Mm-hmm. Making sure everything was stowed correctly and stuff like that. So, yes, every tool we have in the black truck is now in the gray truck. Tool bag, impact gun, 2 impact guns, 2 air inflators. I got small impact guns, tools to raise the jack, lower the jack, fuses, you name it, it's in both trucks.
Right. And a lot of people say, oh, you're overkill, or, this. But you know what? It's to each their own.
Go big or go home.
We're always go big or go home. But it's to each their own. If it's going to save us 2 or 3 hours that we can be out there hooking up and driving, then it's worth it to us in the long run.
Right. And if you don't like it, that's your opinion, and you're perfectly acceptable to that opinion. We like it, so that opinion doesn't matter.
Plus we're a little lazy.
And we're lazy. We don't want to have to move stuff back and forth. We are enjoying the new truck. Mm-hmm. So I just had to get valve stem extensions. We got it from the dealer, and the dealer had the tires at like 90 psi. And we went from there to tire shop to tire shop to tire shop, and none of them had time to take the outer wheels off to deflate the inner wheels to put the outer wheels back on. And we were constantly moving. Finally, after making a run to California back, we went to Carter Tire.
Mm-hmm. Right here in
And they
Elkhart.
actually custom made valve stem extenders for me. That was cool.
Yes. Yep.
So we put them on our resource page. So with that said, we got a new truck.
We did get a new truck.
And Bunny, we'll probably be setting up the black truck to be towed behind the gray truck.
Right, but we'll talk about that in the next video.
Yes. Bunny cut me off.
I am.
I want to keep talking.
You always do. You always do.
I always do.
Hey, a quick little fun fact.
Oh, so you shut me up and now you're going to give a fun
fact.
Right,
I am going to give a fun fact.
All right.
We, Tom and I worked together for the past, 25 years now. Constantly work together. I guess we are current because you got brought back full time again too.
Yes.
With the travel company. When we interviewed with them, we had to interview with their whole family.
Kids, mom, dad.
Everything. Because it's a family business, they want to make sure it was a good fit.
We had to pass the kid test.
We had to piss. We had to pass.
We didn't have to piss in anything.
No. Not for that job.
Not for that job. They don't care.
So
we have to piss in this job, but not in that job.
After we left, they said, "So, what do you think? What do you think of them?" And they're like, "Oh, they're both really nice, but Tom talks a lot."
Wow. We get enough of that on our comments. All right, so we're going to stop this here. We got a couple more videos to do. We may or may not change our shirts. We'll decide. But we're going to run over to... Huh?
I matched the banner.
You matched the banner. You should just go topless. Because we obviously are broke and can't afford new clothes.
Right?
So we're going to go over to Dan's hitch here in a little bit. Saturday. We're waiting for them to close for the day, and they're going to open up their shop for us. We are not promoting, we don't work for Dan's Hitch, but
No.
we thought what a great way to give you an example of why we chose our tank using the tanks in their actual shop.
Right.
And then we might even do a walkthrough tour of the entire place. So that way someone who's never been to Elkhart and that's looking to come here will be so amazed on how big this frickin' place is.
And that will give you an idea that, you know, they're pretty much a one-stop shop when it comes to doing what we do for a living.
Right. And let's not forget, yes, both trucks are outfitted with my Harley 3D badges.
Yes.
It took me forever to find them. I thought, man, I'm going to be able to pop them on there. It literally took me a month to find the front fender badges because I don't know if they're copyright infringements. I just couldn't find them anywhere. So I finally found them. They're on.
Mm-hmm.
So now both trucks have Harley front plates, Harley side badges, Harley tailgate badge, and side window decals, and the American flag Harley Davidson
right
rear window.
And the ones that he bought that were wrong
I got all kinds. I bought wrong ones, but they weren't the right ones that I wanted. But I was gonna have to settle.
But now we have Harley logoed stuff throughout the house.
Yeah, I started adding on. There's a box down there. Let me see. See the Harley logo on the box? I put one of those on there, $50 logo to put on that box. Because I had it.
Right?
Go big or go home.
Right, exactly.
I got the most unique Harley box around.
You do. You do. They were free gifts in 2013. Now,
right, and
now
then I
it's
add a
extra
$50
special.
badge to it. All right, so until next time,
We'll see you down the road.
we'll see you down the road.